Own character.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Drop Dice. So we're doing L5R again. It's been a little while since we played. We addressed some upkeep, housekeeping issues type things, but we're back on track now. When we last left our intrepid adventurers, you were in Winter Court in the Crablands, and you had heard some rhetoric by a rather dissatisfied captain of the guard. Were escorted around the castle and met a few of the stranger visitors for Winter Court this year, and had a evening dinner with C's mother, if I remember correctly. Sound about right to everybody?
Well, not everybody did.
Yeah, like it was me and Brendan who had dinner with his mother.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. As is our normal fashion, we'll still do the letter. I just wanted to kind of recap real quick with everything. Let's kind of introduce everybody again because it's the new year and everything, and we're back. Start with Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy here, playing the your friendly neighborhood lion, Matu Tenchu. Previous your friendly neighborhood bat. Don't worry about that.
There's no such thing as a friendly lion.
That's the entire point. Don't let them into on my game. Enjoy the game.
Okay, next up would be Murdoch.
Hi, I'm Murdoch. I play Kokita Toshiro.
So
Perfect.
boring.
Next up is Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Miyamoto Kaji of the Dragon Clan, Bushi by trade.
Perfect, and then we'll have one more join us as the game progresses. Brendan, who is running a little bit late. That's C. Subasa.
Tom forgot to tell everybody to play Guns of Icarus.
It's true, he did.
Right.
You should totally play Guns of Icarus.
Got a lead on that.
All right, so I believe Tom has a letter for us, correct?
Yep.
Did anybody else do a letter? Because I'm going to let somebody else get one if they did. I think Kikita did one, right? After the game?
I was planning to, but I honestly forgot.
Okay. All right.
I haven't because my master has been here.
Fair enough.
So I would write to.
No one just. You can write to your own sister.
Yeah, fuck her. Didn't need that.
He wrote to his sister asking for her help, and she sent her lowly husband instead.
No, I wrote to my mother, who then wrote to my sister to say,
Yep.
go help your brother.
And I was sent. That's why you don't write again to her.
That's it. That's why I haven't wrote to my mother again.
The last time she sent the worst gift possible.
Exactly. I
Brother-in-law.
got slapped in the face the last time I wrote to my parents.
All right, so let's start with Tom's letter.
Okay.
I should say Miyamoto's letter.
Yep. To my honored father and mother. Things have not quite gone as I have hoped, I am afraid. I wish matters could have been handled in a relatively swift and straightforward manner, but once again, this Winter Court has managed to twist into something much more complicated, and has barely even begun. Before I get into that unpleasantness, though, I will note that I have learned of my cousin's betrothal to Governor Sume Genzo, and I wish her the best for it. I hope the two of them can find honor and happiness with one another. In other news, I did manage to learn the man who resembled Daijoji Osuno was in fact his twin brother and not something more nefarious, which is good. However, the matter with the former Lion Governor Hitoshi has taken a problematic turn. My friend Toshiro challenged the man to a duel over his dishonorable actions at Toshirambo with the intent of naming me as his champion. To our surprise, though, the man declined and admitted his fault, throwing himself at the judgment of the kami for how best to repent his actions. I don't believe him for a second, but there's nothing I can do. As it was made worse by the fact that when Toshiro decided to play along and consult the spirits himself on the matter, their response was disturbing. There's something lurking beneath the surface of this court, and I feel that my companions and I will find out soon enough. May the path to enlightenment lead you ever forward, Miyamoto Kaji.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, that kind of gives a breakdown real quick here. For anybody watching, I will give you the same warning I gave to my players at the beginning of this. I had a computer issue, so I will probably screw up all my NPC names until I watch the last game again so that I can pull those names off of there. So, from here, let's have fun and try and rediscover everybody.
So I'm going to ask the audience: is it me, or do Miyamoto's letters always seem so long-winded? Why did the dragon have to complicate literally everything?
Hey, I left some things out in that
No,
letter.
whoa. Exactly. Look at that. Look at that. To my honored mother and father, shit happened. May the whatever guide you.
Well, it also doesn't help that Miyamoto kind of has like the self-appointed task of watching, observing, and reporting on the rest of you guys.
God.
That's kind of the clan's job, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
The worst person ever.
Hey, I'm still leaving out like the terrible bits, like the fact that Spurs want you to murder the guy. That probably is not something I should put in a letter.
Who wants me to murder people?
When he consulted the spirits
The
about
commie.
how the governor should repent, they said kill him, which you immediately took. Oh shit, there's some corruption going on around here, or taint. I think we decided it was taint, not corruption.
Mm-hmm. Corruption's more sinister. It doesn't actually come out as a vulgarness.
Hmm. Let's see. And where we last immediately left off, I believe a lot of us went outside to watch the fireworks, and Murdoch cast his rain spell.
That is true. So, the rain spell is
Heaven's tears.
Heaven's Tears, which, if I remember right, looks like little bits of crystal falling from the sky, right?
I mean, however you want to describe the trappings.
Well, it seeks out corrupted people as well as tainted people, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it'll be. It'll be like water that shines with a glow of crystal. It looks almost crystalline, and when it hits, it actually turns into a water again. So you are chanting your prayer, and the first drops of rain start to set in as the fireworks are going off. And the crowd kind of looks around, not knowing what's going on, because you did your prayer from a vantage point so that you could look down. And they're kind of looking around and whispering because rain means no more fireworks. But it suddenly, you can see that some of the guests are catching on that this rain only extends so far and that the fireworks seem to be unaffected. You can hear people kind of whispering about themselves in the crowd below you. And you see a man who has kind of pulled up his garments a little bit closer to his skin inside the crowd.
Hmm. Is there any way we can identify him from this vantage point, or do we just not have the angle on it?
You can identify features about him, which if you as a player can identify him, then that's cool. He has kind of a traditional cut. He's got the top knot. He appears to be wearing crane colors. And other than that, you can't really tell much from him because it's from his back. He is wearing the crane mon on his back.
What color is his hair?
Black.
Well, that narrows it down.
Do we know anybody with black hair?
A lot of people. I'm pretty sure it's the most common hair color in Rukagon.
Except for the
is?
crane.
No, it's talking the Kakita family of the crane.
Correct. The Kakita family do happen to be white-haired, but black hair is one of the most common hair colors within Rukagon. The current style that is considered popular for haircuts is actually to do the long hair full pulled into a top knot. He has a very traditional where it's like shaved at the top, it's just a ring, and then the little top knot that sticks over the top.
Any way we can tell the person's age? Like, at least get a good, idea of his age? Can I roll, like, an investigation
Not
on
from
that?
this. Well, yeah, I'll let you do investigation notice.
Alright. That's... That is 21.
21. He appears to be an older man. As you kind of stare at him, you can see that he's trying to adjust his garments so that he can cover the most skin he can. He's having some trouble because, the top of his head is bare.
Okay.
For the record, Heaven's Tears does 1k1.
Does he,
Go ahead and do your damage, by the way.
I'll wait for this, Chris.
And that's every round it does 1k1.
I'll tell you when to do your increments.
Yep. 3 for the first one.
Okay. Your question?
Does he appear to be uncomfortable from the rain? Or anything in general?
He does, but kind of the more you watch him, you can see that other people are becoming uncomfortable. You're not sure if maybe it's just, they're being rained on, or if it's something more to it.
Okay, I was just trying to see if there was a little bit more obviousness into it. That's fine. If he's only just a weird gentleman, I mean, there's plenty enough weird people here, so I don't want to suspect him anymore.
To react to it, if that sways you any. Is anybody else having trouble with Roll20 just coming up at all?
No.
I didn't actually pull it up in the first place.
I usually don't do it through the Hangout thing. It's just easier to open another tab for me.
Yeah, I do it through another tab myself. It's just the
Yeah.
website is taking 19 years, apparently.
Really?
I'm in a problem at the moment. Chris, just so you know the other effect of Heaven's Tears, somebody with no taint or shadow corruption and an honor rank of 4 or better are healed each round by my water ring.
Oh yeah, I'm being healed completely.
Well, there are people in the crowd that are getting healing that they don't necessarily need. That's good to know.
Yeah, well, I just want you to know that they should feel that as well. So.
Yeah, I mean they won't feel anything more than like a pleasant feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, at best, they're still being rained on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not saying anything about it. Best thing I can do is I can't just directly think any further than that. I will just keep an eye out on him, see what he's up to. I'll keep my eye on him instead of the fireworks.
Okay. Some of the crowd is kind of dispersing, and that man happens to be part of the crowd that's dispersing. As he turns, you still don't get a very good look at him from your angle. However, you do manage to catch kind of glimpses of what you think might be on his chest. You're not entirely certain, but it appears to be a... hold on a sec. Apparently my internet is just going to suck at everything at the moment.
It's okay.
Who's he kicked on, by the way?
Probably me.
Are you kidding me? You see what appears to be a... I'm trying to remember what their mon looks like. A crane mon. I'll describe it later.
Well, I only asked because,
I was gonna say when you tell Kakita what you see, Kakita's gonna know it to be a Daidoji mon.
Okay. I will, well, I figured I might know...
That was over the heart.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I would know the, a lot of the crane mons, being lion and all. But, yeah.
Damn internet.
After I see that, I will definitely bring it up to Toshiro.
Yes.
Sorry. During the fireworks, when you let loose your magics,
We're still doing it.
when you started your magics, there
You
was
know, it's difficult to talk while I'm casting and praying.
all right. Don't want to know about suspicious people. I'll say something later.
Go get them.
If I can just do things based upon suspicion, and if I turn out to be wrong, that's not how it works. I'll tell you anything further if I find out anything more. I'm gonna go back and try to follow him.
Okay.
I will come with.
I'll scream out, check their wrists.
Okay.
Interesting.
I won't say anything back. I'll just keep on
That's
going.
enough to break your concentration.
What, check the wrists?
Yeah, when you scream out, you've talked enough to where it breaks your concentration.
Okay.
The rain will continue for a few seconds more, but it'll stop.
How glad I am to be someone who doesn't know anything about magics.
I'm still with you guys. I'm just switching some settings on my end.
Yeah.
Did I get the second round of rain off or no?
Yeah, you would have done two rounds on him plus another 2.
It's only good for 3 rounds.
Okay.
Alright. So apparently me and Kaji will be trying to follow him.
Okay. There, I finally got Roll20 open.
Oh, good.
Okay, so you kind of follow the crowd, and the person wanders into the building itself. If you want to follow him without him noticing, it is going to be a shadowing check, which is stealth shadowing, which is also a dishonorable thing to do.
I know. Man, went from a guy who's willing to do this shit to a guy who doesn't want to ever do this shit.
And I mean, unless you roll real high, people are going to notice you trying to sneak about.
Can I roll in with the crowd as if I'm part of the crowd without,
Yeah, you could walk with the crowd. Your odds of losing him are going to go up a little bit, though.
I have to take that chance. I can't try to hide from people.
Okay.
Chris, I apologize, by the way. My first damage roll on him would have been 21. Because I'm a Kuni. Because I'm Kuni, this spell is actually a bonus 1k1.
Okay.
And then the second one would have been 10.
Okay. Yeah, he'd still be able to walk away. Okay. Matsu, you can see as you're following him that the rainwater that's hitting most everybody, they just look wet. He seems to look like, because you're keeping a closer eye on him, it looks like the water is like boiling off his skin.
I will quickly look at Kaji and give him a quick look, and then go back to looking at him as I follow him.
Okay. The man will turn down a couple of hallways. What I'd like you to roll for me is, we'll say a void roll.
Ooh. You have to give me a second. I'm pretty sure I only have a 2, so.
So roll
I
to
haven't-
keep your void. We're going to say this is luck.
Isn't there already a luck roll, or is void just always luck rolls?
It's called Void.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I'm doing really well. Rolled a 10 and a 9. Rolled another 9. I'm at, what is that, 28? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28.
28. Okay. So you managed to keep a beat on him, and
Luck.
you end up following him down a hallway where if you continue to follow him down his path, you're going to be the only one in the hallway with him, so you stay a little bit further back, but you see what door he enters.
Did I lose Kaji because he's been following me?
No, you're together, so that's fine.
Okay. No, that's fine. I will keep on
I
following
assume
him.
that you were leading you two,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was.
so
I
if
just-
you
did
failed,
you
he
say-
would have failed.
I'm just making sure because you said I would be the only one. So I was like, I'm just trying to reconfirm if there was something I'm missing. Okay. But no, that's fine. I'm not hiding myself from following him. What if he leaves the crowd, then I leave the crowd. Simple as that.
Okay,
If no,
so
if
you're going
Kaji-
to go down the hallway with him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You follow him down the hallway, and he's going to stop in front of a series of doors. And he will kind of just turn his head a little bit, like you can see that he's listening behind him as you walk up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep walking past.
You're gonna walk past him.
Yeah, like my destination is past him.
Okay. You can see that he's reaching in his pocket for something. Matsu, what do you do?
Um. Well, let's see. I should not have my weapons on me.
Correct. You aren't armed either. Because we were going out for the fireworks celebration, you guys would have been wearing appropriate court attire.
Yeah.
I do have my Wakazashi though, right?
Yes, you can keep those because they're a mark of station.
Okay.
Then I have that on me. It's a good thing I'm the type that. Oh,
To
God.
note, he is not reaching for his wakizashi. He is reaching inside of a kimono pocket.
Hmm.
Well, fold in the fabric, I should say.
I know nothing about true investigation. Give me a second.
I will need an answer, or else I'm going to default to lion tactics, which is you move forward and talk to him.
The real problem is I was debating whether or not I want to stick with lion tactics in my head also. You know what? No, because I can't not do that. Because I specifically, I'm gonna go and talk to him.
Okay.
But I'm gonna talk to him like, wow, man, that rain came out of nowhere. And then I'll look at him. How did you stay so dry?
He turns to you and he smiles, and you can see the squinted eyes of a man that you recognize.
That I recognize.
Mm-hmm. It's Governor Sume Genzo. It appears that since entering court, he's gotten rid of his more fashionable long haircut and has moved to a more traditional haircut.
Interesting.
You can see his mon now. It is a crane holding a sword.
Isn't that a Kakita?
I'm sorry, not a sword. It's a spear for the Daidoji, if I remember
Yeah,
right.
yeah, they use spears.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's crane over snake.
Is it for that one? Okay, then that's what you see.
So
I'm
both
bad
the
with family
so the both
mons.
mons
I look about it every time.
both mons in the front are Taidoji.
Yes.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Governor Sume was not a crane before.
Governor
No, he
Sume is a crane. His family
Was
is
he?
the Sume family, but he is ultimately in charge of the spearmen that provide the footman force to the crane armies. The Sume family has a prestigious spearman school.
Okay.
Typically do work with and train a lot of the Daidoji spearmen.
Okay.
Not only that, but they train on the wall as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at me, he smiles, and it's Sume Genzu.
Yeah, it's a spear with a snake around it.
All right.
Did that link help you, Chris?
Yes. I was
Let's
actually
see.
looking for the one that's got like the crane in the center and then all the families underneath, because I like having those up whenever I'm talking about family mons.
Okay. Sume Genzu. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember because there's always like a million people. I'm trying to remember.
Sume Genzo was the father of Sume Taru, who started off the adventure. He was the one that wanted vengeance for his son's early death,
Yeah.
and he brought the look-alike of Daidoji Osono with him.
Okay.
Chris, there's something important I couldn't chat for you.
Sume Sama. I'll give him some decent respects.
hmm
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was you.
Yes, I left as it started to rain. My old bones can't take the cold weather anymore, and rain would only agitate it.
I understand the feeling. Never been much of much to want to stay in the rain myself.
The plains of the Lion are known for their dry seasons. He kind of smiles again. You can see what he pulls out of his pocket is a room key.
Hmm. Well then, stay dry and stay safe then.
Thank you. He'll pass it into a lock. It's at that moment that you're going to recall that your room doesn't have a lock on the outside.
Hmm. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Okay. Miyamoto, I assume that you kind of walked down the hallway but slowed down your pace so that you could kind of eavesdrop. Is that about right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. You'll get to the end of the hallway because it's just a hallway with a bunch of chambers inside of it, and then you'll just kind of be standing in front of a door as they finish up. Genzo will go in, shut the doors behind him, and you can hear the bar latch on the other side.
That's when I will catch up with Kaji.
Like, Kaji will look very troubled and, like, motion for silence, and then, like, walk back away from the door, like, to some other part of the castle.
When we get a little bit farther away from the door, I will make. I've got to do this stupid cliche thing. Well, that wasn't suspicious.
Hmm.
Not at all.
This is troublesome. The man married my cousin.
Hey, what your family does. But I know I wouldn't want him married to mine.
Regardless, let's go back to Toshiro. He might have more insight.
Toshiro, in the meantime, you've been given kind of a good opportunity to take full advantage of the viewpoint that you have here. Kind of watching over the crowd, you can see the different ladies of the court talking about the fireworks, whispering to each other. They seem to be kind of having a merry day. And again, you are troubled by your past. Growing up in the Crablands was very different than some of the other families and things like that would have experienced, and even from the days when you were with your Crane family compared to with your crab schooling, you never really grew super accustomed to court. Winter court probably was your preferred one just because that was the time that the 20 winter goblins would go on if it would. You would have the seasons of like festivities, but the new summer courts are kind of foreign to you, which is a tradition that came from the colonies. And you kind of have this distant thought to yourself about, how things could have been different if you grew up in Crane lands. And you find your eyes kind of passing through the crowd. And you see a woman that catches your eye. Just briefly, she almost locks in with you. She has dark, long hair that's almost unfashionably long. It's quite a bit further past her waist, and she leaves it in a single ponytail. She appears to be a very young, beautiful woman at that. She smiles kind of distantly as you exchange looks, and then holds up a fan and turns away.
Is there a mon on the fan?
There is, but it's a mon that shouldn't make sense. It is a black wolf.
Do I know of that clan?
It's not a clan. It is a Ronin mon that you would know of. Before Totori the Black took over, he was known as Totori the Black, and he had a group of Ronin that were known as the Wolves. That is the Ronin mon for the Wolves. It's basically a large mercenary group. A lot of them, once Totori the Black became Totori the First, second, they became Imperial Guardsmen and things like that, and were given back titles and lands and things like that. But not all were so lucky.
I'm gonna walk over to this woman.
Okay. You go through the crowd and you attempt to find her, and you are stopped by your own wife. And as you kind of like attempt to do the husband thing with the wife, and they're like, okay, honey, okay, I got business, excuse me. You kind of look around and she's disappeared on you.
Hello.
Husband, you finally joined me. As much as I enjoy the festivities, now would be a good time for us to conduct our honorable duty to the clan. My father has informed me that you have no lessons for this evening.
He doesn't sigh like that. He's just looking around like, I'm not going to get out of this, am I? Like, he's looking around, like, looking for an excuse, and he goes, yes, I will meet you in... What room are you staying in?
I will ready the chambers. And she tells you what room she's staying in,
Okay.
which you recall that being the room that that you had been in 2 winters ago, before you started on your intrepid adventure. So you're familiar with where it is in the castle.
Okay. I will try to track down Miyamoto and Matsu.
Okay. After a little bit of kind of wandering around, Miyamoto and Matsu were heading back to find you anyways, so they will actually meet you in the courtyard. Once you're in the courtyard, you'll find that C has been down there, kind of trying to observe the crowd as the rain fell, but he didn't really catch anything, so he's still kind of looking around for any tall tale signs of somebody who might be suspicious at the moment.
I have duties to perform this evening. I will be in this room. Knock loudly if needed.
I see. Well, in any case, troubling news.
I bow and leave.
Well.
I can't keep her waiting.
Talk to you tomorrow, then.
I hope so.
Hmm.
I may be dead.
Okay. We're going to talk to him first, but let's gather up to see. He probably should know this. So, yes, hello. So
Hello.
we go and find C. We tell him that we found someone in the crowd who seemed to be having some rather adverse effects to the rain. Me and Matsu follow him back. Turns out it was none other than Governor Tenso. Tenso. Yeah, Sume Genzo. Someone combined his name into one.
I had my suspicions.
Hmm.
When we spoke earlier, He seemed under the impression that I had never met his son before, when at the trial in Toshirambo, I told him specifically that I had known him.
Yes, indeed. I had hoped that his... how do I put this? Demeanor mentioned a sort of lightening of his heart. Ready to see that's not the case.
I honestly think he's not Sume at all.
Possible.
Normal people don't boil the water that rains on them.
Well, I am not quite certain of how... Actually, hold on. First of all, Chris, memory check.
Yes.
The time I watched those rains hit Jeremy's old character, what happened?
Similar effect.
Yeah.
The water boils off.
Okay, so
It
first
leaves
off,
wounds and scars.
first I'll remark is like, not necessarily the case. I've seen that spell in action before, and the boiling off effect is what happens when someone is corrupted. It could still be him, but that doesn't mean anything good.
Well, now he's going to be suspicious.
Second question. I don't know why. I know Toshiro asked me to look at his wrists. I didn't get a good look at his wrists this time, but can I remember back to the previous conversation I had with him that day to, like, if I remember anything about his wrists?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you were painting, or when he was painting, he had his sleeves rolled up, which meant you would have seen his wrists. So you start thinking about it, like recalling the events of the day, and you kind of think about it. And you don't recall seeing any sort of markings, tattoos, scarification, or anything like that on his wrists. He does have scars from previous battles, so he's got some like on his forearms, but nothing that looks like it's like a ritual or done on purpose kind of scarring.
Interesting.
Likewise for me.
Like, I would not know the significance of that, so I was just like, C, do you remember anything odd about his wrists when we last saw him? Apparently that was important to Toshiro.
Did I notice the same things as Kaji?
Yes.
No, it was more his demeanor that troubled me.
Indeed.
Well, his bodyguard has plenty of tattoos. Maybe he knows how to hide them.
Perhaps.
He was covering a lot of his skin this time.
Oh, blast. I feel unsuited for this.
How alarmed did Tsume look?
Since I greeted him as a fairly normal person of my station, he seemed unalarmed about what went down. Since we stuck to just regular conversation, it was not much. The only thing that of other interest I can say is the room he went into. It was locked. He had claimed it was his quarters.
Have you confirmed this yet?
Well, judging from the fact that I have not seen anybody with locked quarters, it's hard to believe him in that sense. But no,
Everybody's
after
rooms will lock from the inside,
Yeah.
but a lock on the outside is unusual.
yeah,
Well, we could try to figure out if those really are his quarters from some of the staff here, maybe.
possible. I am not so well with talking with the staff.
You're a samurai. I think you can handle it.
I order them around. I'm trying to not be... I'm not good at being subtle.
So he's bringing up a good point. He's poorly wording it.
Yes,
essentially,
I'm poorly wording it because that's how the character would poorly word it.
yes. So essentially, something that will occur to you, see, because you're a little bit more accustomed to courtly life, is if you speak to the help, chances are, if you can get information from the help easily, other people can as well.
Yeah.
So if you go and pry about who's staying in what rooms with the help may share that information with somebody else later on.
Yeah. If I go and talk to them in a very if I go and talk to them, I'm not gonna be subtle about it. I'm gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, I need to know where he's staying." People are gonna know that I asked. That's why I can't be
Yeah.
subtle about it.
Trying to remember what I spoke to him about earlier. Suppose I could try. Well, since I gave him a gift, maybe I could say I'm going to repair it or touch it up.
He did ask you to see to his weapon.
Right. That's what I was trying to remember. If I couldn't remember if I could do that or not. So yeah,
That would give you a chance to go look at his room.
I'll go off to find an appropriate steward or whoever would be doing that task.
Yeah, so you go off and you find a Henin who's working the halls as a caretaker for the Winter Court. He's in charge of basically ordering the Edda around and doing what they need to do. The Henin would be the appropriate person who you would speak with.
And since it's a Henin, like proper etiquette is I don't need to give any honorifics or anything. Or
Not at all.
okay. Excuse me.
Sidono, and he bows deeply. How may I be of assistance?
I know you are very busy, but Governor Tsume requested that I look after a gift I gave him a few months ago. I was wondering where his quarters might be.
Governor Sume, he says, one moment, please. And he pulls out it's not really a scroll, it's more like a string of lacquered wood that has been tied together. And there are names next to numbers, and he kind of like rolls through this little like wooden Rolodex thing that he's got going on. And he says, Governor Sume is in the south wing. He is the third door from the left. Is there anything else that I can help with?
Is that the location that Jeremy described?
Yes.
Okay. No, that'll be all. Thank you.
Most excellent. If you require anything else, please inform one of the stewards.
I will. Thanks.
And he'll bow deeply to you again.
And I'll go back to Kaji and Matsu. I'll relay the location to you again. It appears that is actually his room.
Still doesn't change the fact that it
In
is
the
odd.
meantime, while you are gone, let me address that real quick here.
Yeah.
Miyamoto. So there is music and dancing inside the courtyard now that the rain has let up, and you, being an artistic soul, kind of find yourself looking across the courtyard and observing the different couples pairing off, and you, being the constant romantic that you are, kind of find your heart longing, and then for a moment you see dancers twirl and spin and move. You catch a glimpse of this woman with impractically long black hair that's been tied in a ponytail, with her back to you. And as they dance, she kind of slips in between and out of, and she keeps drawing your attention. And then you see for a moment, as she turns with her dance partner, a face that you haven't seen in 2-3 months. A face you thought you'd never see again. What was her name again?
Miho.
Miho. The resemblance is too uncanny. Her hair is different, but it has to be her.
Alright. First of all, this triggers my disadvantage. All of my target numbers are increased by 5 for like the next hour or so. So there's that. How do you react to this? Like, if Matsu's paying attention, like, he will see Kaji, like, immediately freeze and pale. Like, for a moment, like, he won't do anything. Then he'll sort of, like, stumble forward and, like, trying to find her.
So you kind of push through the crowd, and the crowd kind of starts parting, and eventually people are kind of confused because you're almost like stumbling and trying to move past people and all this stuff, and she moves away, and you can kind of catch her, and you keep seeing her around corners and things like that, and you push past, and for Matsu, you see Miramoto start to go around a corner to a building where you wouldn't be able to see him again. What do you do, Matsu? Jeremy, you're Matsu.
I know. Sorry, I was looking at something, so I was literally not paying attention as much. And you started calling me. I was like, hold on, what? I was looking.
Kaji was wandering through the crowd of.
I heard that point, but then after you said he's wandering the crowd, I zoned out. I won't lie. So
he is about to turn the corner where you won't be able to see him behind a building. Chasing something. You haven't figured out what he's following.
I can't leave him. He followed me randomly, so I'll follow him randomly. I gotta keep an eye out on people. This is how you get killed.
Okay. Miramoto, you come around the corner, and you catch like the faintest smell of flowers. That smell that you at one point would have welcomed had this woman not just utterly destroyed you in the past. But she's not there. And you kind of stand baffled for a moment. And Matsu comes around the corner just behind you in a light trot, and his footsteps kind of break your lost in thought state that you're at right now.
Do I see pretty much no one around this corner also?
No, it's kind of an empty alleyway between the main building and the wall.
Okay, just making sure if there's no one else. Then I will state, after I come around the corner and I see no one, I would like, Kaji, what's going on?
He doesn't turn to look at you. He just, like, plants his hand against the wall. He's visibly shaking and just see, like, wide-eyed, terrified. It's like, Miho, how? Miho. Yeah, he is just, like, gone.
So, what I'd like to do is a little flashback here. Miramoto, let's kind of explore who Mia is and why it's having this effect on you. Why don't we do like a little flashback moment here?
All I can think is Wayne's World. Yeah, do-do-do.
Why don't you describe one of your touching moments with Mia in the past when she finally revealed what she was to you?
Miho is her name.
Oh, Miho.
Well, Miho was Kaji's first love. How do I put this? They first met each other on one of his many walks to the woods. Him being a great lover of nature, he would frequently take sabbaticals to just observe nature in its prime. She was the same way, and that's how the two of them met. They met at a lake that both of them liked to frequent. They got along quite well. They kept meeting each other several times. Eventually, love blossomed. How do I put this? There's nothing too dramatic about it, like no family quarrels or anything like that. but it was like a nice simple thing. And Kaji, being younger then, like was a bit more, even more head over heels in love than like he would be these days. Up until one day when they denied to meet at their usual spot, and he found her body in the lake. The loss of her crushed him utterly, and since then, like whenever he has even tried to get close, just bad things start happening to the women around him, to the point where he believes he is now cursed, and he can never love because of this.
And then Miyamoto comes back from his thoughtful moment there, kind of bracing himself on the wall, just saying her name.
Miho. I'm trying to see if there's any relation to what I might know about him and a person named Miho or something named Miho.
No, you know it's a woman's name, but it's hard to determine without a clan attached to it.
Look, man, I don't know who this Mio is. I got nothing here.
Would he bother to talk to you? No, I don't think he'd respond to you. He would just, like, give something between a sigh and a growl and push off the wall and immediately just start walking away. He's heading towards Toshiro's room.
Okay. As Miyamoto is kind of like, this is very uncharacteristic for Miyamoto. He's kind of walking with more of a purpose than he ever really does. He's a little bit more heavy-footed. See, you're actually going to step right in the way, and Miyamoto's just going to be looking right past you, so he just kind of shoulders into you when you guys come across each other.
Kaji.
Keeps walking.
Yeah, he seems to not be paying attention to anything I'm saying either.
Okay, I'm gonna jog forward and get in front of you again.
I'm just scrolling on behind.
Is something wrong? Are you falling behind?
Oh yeah, of course I am.
Alright.
I'm gonna catch up to you. Is everything all right?
I saw her. I saw Miho. How is that? No, something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
I believe you. There are a lot of things wrong, but I found out that the governor's room is where Matsu found it, and I'd rather not go talk to a shapeshifter by myself.
It like sort of break out in sort of bitter, nervous laughter. Right, shapeshifters, of course, has to be. Right, has to be. Right. He hasn't stopped. He's still walking to Toshiro's room.
So, I guess we're talking to Toshiro.
When we get to Toji's room, the first thing I'm gonna do is get in the way of the door.
Okay.
Just
Well,
like
thanks, bro.
just like this, hey, family's got to be there for family.
Kaji's fist is like raised up to knock, and like it's right in front of your face.
Do you just like move your fist over to knock where he's not blocking?
No, I'm going to I'm literally physically trying to bar his way from bothering Toshiro in any way. You cannot interrupt. I can't do this because I went straight to Zoidberg.
You cannot interrupt their mating rituals.
Yes. Oh God! I was so sorry. I was not trying. I was trying to be serious about this, but that just went through my head. Okay. And I'm going to Murdoch. Really? Okay. I have a hard enough time trying to keep myself on track. I don't need you guys, also screwing this up for me.
All right.
Okay. Kaji, think about what you're doing.
I'm telling my friend information I'm sure he really would want to know right now.
and I'm trying to let you know that I'm trying to have a nephew or a niece.
Oh.
That's all well and good, but I think they can do that later.
Or they can get it over with tonight and we can talk about it in the morning. Just so you know, I am not hiding my voice, so if you hear this Toshiro, that's different.
Yeah, Toshiro, you're gonna hear them through the door, but your wife's not gonna stop because you have a duty to perform.
But
I will.
they're right outside. I mean, just a second.
Let's see here. What? He looks unconvinced, but he's on the edge. He needs like a little more pushing to prevent him from doing this.
You know how when he mentioned...
So I have a question.
Yeah.
This is to Chris. Does she get uncomfortably loud to get them to go away?
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, then we can continue. Tell me this. No, Kaji. Remember when he said if you had anything important to say, you can come to his room and talk to him, even though whatever, right?
Yes.
That was just a formality. He didn't think you would actually do this. He really expected you to have the right thing to say.
Then why would he still has his hand up, by the way. He's like, but why would he do that? That seems counterintuitive.
Hold on, sorry, I gotta pause the game for a second. Counterintuitive? That's the fucking world! Okay.
At 1, he's a dragon. 2, he's not in the right mind state right now.
I know. It's just... Okay. Look,
How about you tell us what happened while you wait?
what if you interrupt him, right? And we go on, and he comes out, we have to go do something, and he gets killed. No children. Or you can let him have the one night, and we can do it in the morning. I'm pretty sure Sume is not going anywhere. I'm pretty sure this Miho is not going anywhere.
He twitches when you mention her name. Alright.
Look, if you want, we can go in. I'm not going to, but I can watch you hit on other women.
But
You got to get this Mio out of your mind.
You gotta go bang a bunch of
That's what I'm
hoes.
saying. He doesn't understand the significance, so he's just treating her like some other woman.
Is that the name of the tea house girl?
I don't know. I don't physically know that.
No, I'm saying that in character because you're talking about as if she
Some
was
woman,
some random bow from the past.
I don't know. He just said Miho.
it's like, He'll like stand there twitching for a few moments where he goes like, no, that was Mika. He says to see. And I will spend a void point to get over my penalty. I can do that at any time, but I feel like he wouldn't do it unless he was forced to.
Okay.
Perfect story reasons to do so.
Yeah. He's just like... He'll like lower his fist and just start walking away. Like he doesn't have purpose in his walk anymore, so you assume that it's basically done with for the time being.
Yep. And as you walk away, I sigh. Whew. And then I whisper, "Good luck," back to Kikita. And then I walk away. And then I keep quiet and walk
Good luck,
away.
Kida-senpai.
Hey, for the family.
May the spirits of venerosity be with you. Okay, so you guys are departing the hallway. The first one out is going to be Kachi for obvious reasons.
Then I figured me and unless he followed him immediately.
Walked out together.
That's what I thought.
So
Yeah,
you guys
Kaji's
will
going first.
meet up with each other at the end of the hallway there. Do you have anything to say to each other, or do you want to go to the next morning?
Nope. I will
Uh,
say something. Now that we're
I
out of
oh.
oh, no, if you have something important to say too.
Go ahead.
Um, once we're out of the range of the room, I will look at Kaji. What the hell was that?
Important.
Five foods.
Can I be notified of this importance? Am I not worthy enough? Is you can't talk to someone else other than the guy trying to do his duty for his family?
We might not be Shugenja, but I think we've been through enough together. We're here to help you too.
If it's a Tsugenja you require, I mean, we can probably find someone else.
No. I like to keep this close. It's like he sort of gives it like a small look at Matsu before turning to see. It's like I wanted Toshiro because he is an expert in these matters and one I can trust with this. And I suppose it's not even really a secret. Long ago, back when I was younger, I had a love. My first love, in fact. Her name was Mio. It's a wondrous thing. But it wasn't meant to be. She died. Drowned, if it matters. And yet, this day, I saw her there, dancing. I smelled her scent, and she disappeared. It can't be. It shouldn't be. And the only way I can think about that is something dark is going on, something wrong. Shapeshifters.
So
as
you were
said.
honestly, you went way above me. I mean, I would have just thought some of the spirits are playing tricks on your eyes.
You'll note that like this entire time he's talking to C, not you.
Surprisingly, I'm used to people ignoring me, just not looking at me.
So please understand. This is very serious. And that was a wound I did not expect opened.
I know what you mean. Well, it never stops, does it? This winter's getting stranger and stranger.
Becoming twisted, folding in on itself.
We'll need to talk to Toshiro in the morning. I think if we interrupt him now, his mind won't be quite in it. If it's even still in his head.
We would not get the best results.
Ha! Fair enough. All right.
Either way, we'll figure it out together. And speaking of together, I did kind of tell a servant that I was looking for Governor Tsume's room so I could look after the gift I gave him. And I would rather not visit him by myself.
Do you have said gift?
Oh, I gave it to him in Toshirambo. It was a spear, and he requested that I look after it. That was...
So you'd like to go back to him, get the gift, as using the gift as a means to talk to him again.
Well, yes. Well, mainly I just wanted to know where he was staying, so if we knew that was really his room. And since I told the servant, you know how servants gossip.
Yeah.
It would look strange if I didn't go to his room tonight.
How late in the night is it, Chris?
Late enough that you probably shouldn't be knocking on people's doors.
That's what I figured.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking, because I figured the fireworks was pretty late at night, so I just wanted to get a confirmation.
Okay, so I didn't realize that.
I will mention that it might be a little bit too late to talk to him without seeming even more suspicious.
In that case, I would like to go in the morning.
And I suspect at that point we might have Toshiro with us to also join us. So best thing I can say is get a good night's rest, prepare for the next day.
Huh.
All right.
If only.
Try your best.
Okay. So, Night goes on, and the night is especially rough for Kaji. You find yourself kind of stirring in your sleep, and it gets to be about you would guess it to be about the dog's hour, which is just after midnight. Um, you're not entirely certain because it's hard to keep track of time once the sun is down, given the setting. You hear a distant song being played on flute, and you recognize it. It's a song that Miho used to play when you would sit underneath the groves near the very river that you found her dead.
Hmm. Well, I need to look up something first. Okay, yeah. I get hit with the +5 on my target numbers again.
Yes.
This can happen to me twice per day. So.
Hey, you're going to sleep, so it's a new day.
So, oh, my heart. Would he do something stupid? Yeah.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah,
That's what the disadvantage is. He wouldn't, but the disadvantage says yes.
Like he would lead, but he would also take his full Daisho with him.
Okay.
The crystal one.
Yeah. So you get up to leave, and you think to grab your gear, and you move pretty quietly, so it doesn't disturb anyone else's sleep or anything. You will kind of follow the song that you keep hearing to out into the courtyard where the fireworks were, and you can see that same kimono and hair that you've grown to recognize, the smell of flowers, all of it. It's too real. And as you approach, you can see that something is wrong. It's not quite right. You know that regardless of what happened to Miho, she wouldn't be shorter. She wouldn't look a little different in dimensions.
Hmm. Who are you?
The woman turns, and it's a face that you kind of recognize, but you can't put a name to that face. It's another woman who, while an attractive woman, she has an air to her that you just can't quite put your finger on. It's not an air that you would want to be associated with. She kind of smiles openly, and that you can see that she has sharpened her teeth on purpose. She says, Haji, you don't recognize me?
No.
That is a shame. I have traveled so far for you.
And more in the face of my dead love.
A mere trick to bring you in. Your passionate soul ignites more than just minor trickery.
That's all well and good, but what do you want? Why do you torment me?
I want to be with you. That's all I've ever wanted.
He'll like blink. What?
I have loved you from afar. And that woman Miho stepped in. She stole your heart from me.
Did you think perhaps this is not the best way to go about this?
Perhaps. But there is more that I must tell you because of my feelings.
I see.
I could not stand her touching you, being with you, going on walks with you. That should have been me. I drowned her.
Hmm?
And I will do the same to any woman that tries to take you from me.
It was you. All these years, it was you! Shing! Swords.
You pull your swords, and then she kind of like opens her arms and cinematically wire fu style floats up to a rooftop.
It's so cheesy great.
She says to you, Crystal, I should have expected you to be smart. Though, to be fair, it won't do much better than steel would.
I'm sure it'll be all the same when I separate your head from your body, vile witch!
Okay. So, again, cinematic kind of wire fu style, you kind of run up the side of a building and then enter onto the rooftop with her. And you begin kind of exchanging blows, and she's unraveled a scarf which she's using to kind of wrap around and twist you around, and she doesn't seem to be doing any actual damage to you. She's just kind of keeping you at bay at this point. You can see her chanting some sort of weird... It's not quite a prayer. It's somewhere in between a poem and a prayer. And that she's kind of whispering it in a hushed tone. You can see that the scarf begins to split, and what was once a scarf becomes snakes, and it kind of takes you back a little bit. This is not Shugenja magic that she's using.
I should have guessed your magic would be as vile as yourself. I do a service by ending you this night.
Kaji, you wound me. I have waited so long for your attention, and this is how you thank me for taking them out of your life? Every woman that would have broken your heart? And like you continue to swing like ferociously, and she kind of steps back with each one of them. And then finally she takes the leap over to another building and leaves like this open gap in between the two of you as the moonlight fills and finally peeks from the cloud. You can see that she's on the other side of the courtyard, and she says, "The woodlouse is dead as well. Every woman that tries to take you from me will meet the same fate." She turns, and you can see her kimono frill up around her, and it becomes kind of this whirlwind of fabrics, and it folds in on itself, and she's gone.
I am shouting at her, I swear on the souls of all that you have slain, I shall end you, you vile witch! Do you hear me? I will end you!
There are guards that come out with the lanterns on poles and swords drawn. Guests are starting to wake up because there's this tormented screaming from Kaji coming from the roof. Matsu, you're rattled from your sleep because your room happens to be close to one of the windows out into the outer courtyard. And it takes you a second, then you recognize that it's Kaji's voice. C happens to sleep very deeply, so you got to kind of kick him on the way out.
I will. I'll wake C up.
Kakita, your room is actually quite buried into the castle, but you can hear people kind of wandering about the castle outside your doors. The rustling kind of wakes you up, but you're not sure what it's about. There seems to be a lot of movement.
Am I still being raped?
Conducting your husbandly duty? No.
Good. I will wake up and I'll kind of like move my wife a little bit and say, I have to check and see what's going on.
She nods, and you see that she moves back the bed, and she starts assembling the naginata that's underneath the bed that you were told about.
If you hear the sounds of battle, and I look towards my chair,
you know your wife to be a potent Shugenja in and of her own right.
Well, she's a witch hunter, so.
Mm-hmm. Or sorry, witch hunter, not Shugenja. She'll just nod to you, and She'll not say anything as you leave.
Yep. I will grab my scroll of spells, by the way.
Okay. When you go to grab your scrolls, you find that there is a new scroll amongst your collection. Hold on a second. Havelock. He's trying to steal stuff off the counter.
Bastard.
I know. So you'll notice there is a new scroll that's been added to your collection, and it has an ink seal on there that you recognize to be your wife's.
I'll look at her and just be like, "Is this legitimately you?"
She will look a little confused, and she says, "Of course it's mine. It is a gift for my husband. We've been away for a long time, and I felt that an investment of some of my earnings would be appropriate as a gift for you."
I will bow, put it on my back, and then run.
Okay. As you get out into the courtyard, you see that there are guards with the lanterns on sticks and the swords drawn, and there is Kaji, who is openly on his knees sobbing at this point on the rooftop. He appears to be a little battered, but not worse for wear or anything. All of you will kind of make it out in the courtyard about this time.
Miramoto.
He won't respond.
Miramoto, you have a job to do. Your job is to continue to protect the Kakita. Get up.
It's like he'll like sob a little bit, like till his head's like, I don't remember that part.
Kakita himself told Miramoto himself to protect his daughter.
I'm not sure that extends so many far generations.
It probably doesn't, but at least you're not sobbing anymore. Let's go. You're embarrassing yourself.
Not like it is.
Leave it to the Kakita to get under the dragon skin.
This is where that trained by crabs part shines.
Yeah. Alright. Spend the void point.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's cool.
I thought you would like that, actually.
He's just like,
You kind of refocus yourself.
he'll like get to his feet, sheathe his weapons. He'll like mutter a half-hearted apology to the guards before just walking away.
The guests are pretty openly whispering about this behind fans. There seems to be a lot of talk. You are going to lose some face for the incident.
It happens. Well, no, it doesn't happen very often, but...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, am I noticing this?
Yes. It's
look at
pretty
the
open.
guards.
If you were to call attention to it, it would risk your own honor.
I'm going to call the guards over,
Okay.
and I'm going to say, loudly enough so people can hear, that he was obviously dealing with something from the darkness. Something is wrong. Alert the guards. Or alert the rest of the guards.
Very well. The guards double up on patrols for the rest of the evening.
That was a hope that people would, be like, oh, he was battling the darkness. That explains it. He's not a pussy after all.
It's not really going to change the fact that he's losing some face for this.
I understand, but it is an attempt.
Right.
I'm gonna look at Kaji and be like, "Are you okay?"
He will mutter under his breath, only loud enough for you to hear, I will be when she's dead.
Whom? When? Excuse
Not
me.
here.
Whom? When whom is dead?
Not here.
I forget the name of the castle. Cuden what?
Heat up.
Cuden Ida, thank you. I will say just under my breath in my ears, I will say to you, I will go very well. And I will nod my head. And as I turn and pass you to move to go, I will say nowhere in Cudenita is safe at the moment.
Clearly.
I'll turn around. Do I notice Matsu is here? Matsu is here?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you and be like, I don't say Hida Dono.
I was sleeping.
Hida would be out there. He is not going to be with you guys.
But we can see him, right?
Yeah. He's kind of dispersing the crowd and encouraging, or he gets the word that you suggested to double up the guards, and he's confirmed it.
Okay. I'm looking at Matsu, and that's what I say.
You say, I don't see Hidodona. I look at Hidodona, I see him.
Are you near enough to him to protect him?
Yes.
Make sure it stays that way. And then I walk off.
Just make sure it's a nephew. And I'll let you walk off. That's right.
So you will stand there for a couple seconds while you two walk away from each other.
No, I didn't walk away from him. I stood there.
okay.
He walked away.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Kaji to follow.
I can see.
So you
Hida
will
from
just stand there for a few seconds and then follow behind.
Sure.
I'm going to stay out in the court as long as Hida is out there trying to disperse everybody.
Okay. Yeah, once Hida kind of gets most of the crowd dispersed, he's going to look over at you, and he kind of mutters to himself, which you can clearly hear, why am I not surprised that the lion has stayed?
When I see him look over me, that's when I walk away.
He kind of shakes his head, and he turns back to the guards and yells at them about getting back on duty.
He knows he's protected.
Considering you've done literally everything that he's done,
Well, not everything he's done, but I've been around everything he's done. Simple as that. Again, I'm not hiding myself at all for this shit.
Okay. So you head back in, and from there, the night itself is not going to be a problem. You're able.
well, I
to...
wish to actually talk to Kaji
Okay.
at night.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. So I'm going to say to him, do you want to tell me what that was all about?
Long ago, back when I was younger, I had a love. My first love. Her name was Mio.
Already bored. Give me the particulars.
It's like he's already heard it twice.
She's dead, drowned. Yet that did not stop me from seeing her this evening at the dance. As you can imagine, I was just distraught.
What did she
Later.
look like?
It's like, dark hair, fox-like face, big, pretty almond eyes. Like, he will describe the woman you saw with the Wolfmon. I assume they looked the same at the time?
They do, but you never saw the Wolfmon. So
Right. Okay.
I saw a woman earlier, very similar look. She was wearing a Wolfmon.
Hmm.
She
Interesting.
was watching me.
Wonder if she has designs for you too. Regardless, as you can imagine, she is not my dearly departed Miho. I was drawn out just now by the sound of music, and I encountered the person behind it. I should have gotten her name. Never got it.
Was it this woman that you needed to chase naked?
I'm wearing pants.
I just wanted to make sure you were with it.
Apparently, she is a woman I used to know. Vaguely familiar. Must have been from the earlier days. She was, as it turns out, she was jealous of my love for other women. She's the one who killed Mio and every other woman who I ever entreated with.
I will mention that there has been reports of taint / darkness, or taint. What did we say the other one was? Taint and
Corruption.
corruption. Causing false memories. I don't know if that's true or not, Chris, but I'm still saying it.
okay.
So, what? Are you saying I imagined Miho? I refuse to believe that.
No, not your love, but this woman that you said seems familiar. She could be familiar, but not truly familiar. As in, maybe you've been influenced by magics.
Perhaps.
I noticed you had your crystal blades. Why was this?
I was suspicious. Before, when I came to get you while you were in the middle of your duties, I had already suspected that a shapeshifter might be afoot, that things of the taint could be involved. I figured if I was going to go out alone, I might as well do it armed.
Speaking of duties, I've never seen Governor Sume's wrists. Tell me, did they have a tattoo?
No, they were blank.
No.
Interesting.
I
Are they
haven't
supposed
told
to?
you yet, though, but when I spoke to him, his memories of our conversations before in Toshi Rambo were false. He was under the impression that I had never met his son when I told him so specifically during the trial.
Have either one of you ever seen his wrists beyond this week?
No.
I might have seen them back at Toshi Rambo, but honestly, that was months ago. I can't remember.
Not that I can recall.
Unfortunate. Strange that a prominent member of the vassal houses of the Doji would wear a Daidoji Mon over their heart.
That's what he had. Daidoji, both heart and blade, and the crane, full crane on the back.
You're not there.
Alright.
Sorry, I'm a little confused.
You are not with us, Matsu, while we're having this conversation.
Yeah, he's watching over Hida at the moment.
Sorry, I'm paying attention. No, yeah, go ahead.
What was that again?
I said that it surprises me that as a prominent member of the vassal family Sume, which are a vassal family to the Doji, that he would wear a Daidoji Mon over his heart. Did you notice his other Mons?
I'm
Did we,
sorry.
Chris?
That is my mistake. It should be Doji Mons over his heart and both sides, rather. Not Daidoji. Doji.
Okay. Because you said Daidoji before, and this is
Yes.
what set me off about
That's-
the tattoos on his wrists.
No. That was my mistake.
Okay. So then, negate all that. And I will say blatantly, why do you think that there's a shapeshifter? Besides the obvious that there is one.
Well, what I
I
just said, I'm rather confident that either he's not Sume or his memories have been altered.
I don't know. I don't know about Sume Genzo. I believe I met the shapeshifter today because she claimed that she wore the face of my dead love. I'm inclined to believe her at the moment. I am sorry. It seems like my past has dragged us something unpleasant, and
Pete,
possibly.
can you do me a favor? As a small or as a small clan, or a minor clan, your job is to serve the Empire and the major clans, is it not?
Yes.
Can you serve me by getting me a glass of water?
If you wish to speak privately, you only need say so.
No, I'm actually serious. I need a glass of water. For a spell.
Just humor him, it's faster.
And he'll bow, and he'll go get you a glass of water.
Miramoto-san,
Yes.
would you agree that at times there are things that we must do to protect the Empire that we don't wish to do?
I'm not going to like where this conversation's going, am I?
The Kakita, specifically the Kakita, were told to protect the Empire. Remember that what I said when you were sobbing? That Miramoto was to protect Kakita, and Kakita was then supposed to protect the Empire?
Yes.
Kakita served as the Emerald Champion until his death. Well, mutual deaths, I should say.
Hmm.
At the hands of a Miramoto. In fact, Miramoto's heir.
Hojatsu. This story is known to all who study in the Miyamoto Bushi School.
And all who are born under the great Kakita name. I loathe to say it. Who was the person that was burned by my reign?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Who was the person that was burned by my reign?
Oh. Governor Sume Genzo.
We must protect the Empire. When that's all he'll say until C comes back, unless you have questions. Hold on, Steph's calling me.
I'm still with you guys. Apparently my Chrome will not load while my camera's on, so for me to create a new tab, I have to turn off my camera momentarily.
I'll return momentarily. I have to open the front door for Steph.
Okay.
But I'll be right back, and then we can continue with the plotting to kill a bunch of people in a night.
Fair enough.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
So whenever C comes back,
Yes, he comes back.
okay, I look
All
at
the
C.
powers of the GM.
I thank you, Tsubasa-san, and I will speak with the spirits of water in the glass.
Okay. I do need to check because there is taint and stuff like that going on around here.
Yep.
Your target number is going to be 20 since you're now aware of the issue. So casting the spell is going to require more out of you, essentially.
Yeah,
I
it's
should
been
say
a while,
that your
so I
target
think
number should be 5
cast
higher.
spells, so I'm doing that real quick. Okay.
I misspoke. Your target number is 5 higher from what your normal would be.
Well, this should be 20. Yeah, 20 normally, which I exactly make.
Okay. So that's with the increase then, right?
Should be, because it's a level 1 universal spell, commune.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, you start communing, and a humanoid kind of mannequin type shape forms inside the glass, and it's almost welcoming to see what you expect from the water spirits come up. The little mannequin kind of stands, it bows to you, and then it looks up expectingly. It has no face, by the way.
The rain today that I produced, the spell, Heaven's Tears, did it affect any of your kind?
It begins to pantomime, and it does kind of this arm move where it looks like cascading rain, and then it shifts from side to side, and then it ducks down and looks like it's scared, and then it stands up and it points its finger down where it was standing, and then it ducks back down, and it hisses like it almost makes like a hissed curled back like look like a cat would do. There's no speaking or anything this time, so you clearly know that the water spirits are doing what they should be doing.
Okay. So I will take that as a yes. Can you nod instead? I mean, like, you know.
It doesn't really have a response for you for that.
I'm going to smile and say, no.
Just because I put up with you doesn't mean everyone else does.
Kyuden Hida. The castle may be lost to the taint. I come to the water because it is the only spell that I am aware of that I have that can discover the corruption. Though I am primarily an Earthcaster, I seek the guidance of those that control Heaven's Tears. The Hida, or Hida. Yeah, you all knew what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
How bad is it for the spirits?
It drops down into a small ball, and then after a few moments, it kind of starts to raise its head, and it stands kind of slowly, and then it raises its arms kind of triumphantly.
So you say the good spirits are starting to come back?
It kind of shakes its hands again.
Is this a symbol for something that I'm not getting other than triumph?
It's just victory, triumph. People cheer when they win battles. That's the kind of what it's emulating.
Did my spell help with this?
It goes back to making kind of the rain movements, and once it's done doing the rain movements, it stands again triumphantly.
There was a man who was injured by the rain. Miramoto, who was that?
Governor Sume Genzo.
We suspect this man is not who he seems to be. Water is everywhere.
It kind of like ice skates across the water surface in circles. It doesn't seem to have much of a response for what you've just said.
I thank you for your time. Do you require any tribute?
It looks to the earth, and it does kind of this dancer's bow where both hands come up and it points to its toe that's been extended. And if you follow the line, it goes to the earth.
I have no idea what he's saying.
I think
That's
it's something
okay.
about...
Water spirits are weird.
Kaji will speak up. I think he's referring to the groundwater. Something about it.
Do you want to go back to the groundwater, little guy?
It the little tiny dancer there bows and then kneels.
Okay. Go put him back in the ground. Water. Spasa. Thank you.
Sabasa, do you just pour out the glass outside?
Yes.
Okay.
Just murdered that spirit. Merged him with
That's
the
what
rest
he
of the
wanted,
evil
right?
ones.
Where is the governor's room?
I can bring you there.
No.
And
If you bring us there, it will only be worse. You should go to sleep.
well, depending on what you're planning, I told servants that I would be seeing him.
Correct. Make sure you are seen going into your room. Well, wait, you were seen tonight. Was Governor Sume seen tonight as well at the Screams?
You didn't see him.
That's going to complicate things.
So it could have been him that you saw, Kaji. Or her was him, or I don't know.
If so, my jilted lover is going to some very extreme lengths. For purposes I'm not quite sure.
You know what? Tsubasa, can you retrieve the Matsu and meet us at his room?
All right.
Miramoto and I are going to retrieve Hida. Don't know.
That's to say.
Well, if Hida has people watching him, I imagine, so the enemy will know something is afoot. if we all
Correct.
meet together in the middle of the night.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, great. I go get Matsu.
Okay. Let's take a moment to remind me of what Lord Moon's curse does for you, Matsu, or to you. You're muted.
It's the sorry. It's the easiest of them all, the weakest version. So it's only a TN of 20.
Okay. And if you fail, you black out and don't remember what happened, right?
Yep.
Okay. I do need one because there is a full moon tonight.
Use the void point to get a.
Well, no, I don't get the additional void point if I don't make it. I get it throughout the entire day. I get an additional void point throughout the day if I make it. Otherwise, I have to make a willpower trait roll.
Does Rukugan only have one full moon a week, or one full moon a month, or 5 days of them like we do?
3, actually.
Spend a void to get 1k1.
I don't need to. Because it's willpower.
I'm
So
going to say you can't.
it would kind of not make sense with the entire point of it anyway.
Yeah.
But when it's willpower, it's you roll the willpower and then it's will keep will, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make it. That's 14, 23.
23. Okay. Your evening goes uneventful.
I actually want to fail it eventually, but
No, you shut your whore mouth.
I said eventually.
You were about to kill Hida, and I was about to make my wife a fucking widow. I'll make my sister a widow. Prick.
We don't know if I'll kill Hida. We don't know what will happen.
All right, so that is pretty much the evening.
Well, we haven't finished.
They were going to interrupt me in my sleep now, since
I'm going up to find Matsu.
I plan on doing this in the evening, Chris.
Okay.
He's in his quarters.
Yes, he would be.
I'll go knock on his door.
I will get up and open the door.
May I come in?
I don't know
yeah.
why you're knocking since you all share a room, by the way.
Oh, okay. I forgot that. Yep,
Exactly why I'm confused.
Just walk over and kick him.
You say no. You knock the door. I get up, open the door. You say, "Can you come in?" I'm like,
No.
Sure.
yes.
Well, Kikita sent me to come find you so we could all speak together, although I have a feeling he's not coming. I think he just wanted people to see me.
Okay. I saw you. Can I go back to bed now?
You might need to be awake soon.
I did tell you to retrieve him and meet us at the.
Oh, you said
governor's
to.
room.
Oh, you said Matsu's room at first.
Yeah. Then to retrieve him and bring him back to the governor's room.
Oh, I thought you said Matsu. We were going to meet in Matsu's room. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm bringing you to Hiradono so we can all meet together.
Fine. I will get myself properly dressed.
Okay.
I will do so as well since I was also in sleep clothes.
Let's go back to Kikita and Miramoto. What are you two doing?
Going to Hidadono.
Okay.
Yep.
So everybody else will join. I just wanted to make sure that you were
Okay.
actually going there. It wasn't a scam.
Tsubasa will actually look surprised when he sees you.
Wow, someone wasn't trying to deceive me.
Is what a scam?
Like,
That you guys were actually going to go to the mayor or the governor instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the governor after we get Ida Dono.
Yep. So
Okay.
you go to get Hida. Hida is he's dressed in what appears to be a sparring gi. Seems like after he got woke up, he felt uneasy and he started practicing inside the hall. When you enter, he's got a couple dummies that are broken and one that he's working on breaking at the moment.
Yeah. Is there a yeah? Is there anybody in the thing with him?
No, it's just Hida.
Okay.
When you enter, he'll kind of look across, and who's the first one through the door?
Probably Jojiro.
I was gonna say if nobody went first, I would have.
Okay.
I go first.
He'll kind of stop and he'll reach down to a bucket and he'll pull out a wet like floor mopping rag that he just kind of wrings a little bit and then like pads down his face to get the sweat off there. And he looks across the room and he says, "You cannot sleep either."
What is this?
What is what?
On the floor.
I don't know. It's because there was no bucket earlier. Can I play the game, please? It's being broadcast live. Occasionally that happens. My master wishes to speak with you.
Very well. At least I don't have to change for him. He'll just kind of throw the kind of sopping floor mop towel over his shoulders and grabs onto it with two hands and just kind of follows you.
Okay. That seems like a normal response from him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be like, no, actually, that was misleading you to make sure you're who you say you are.
He looks at you kind of confused.
We have reason to believe there's a shapeshifter in the castle.
If there is, wouldn't it be unsafe to tell me?
That is why I asked questions before I told you.
And of them? He'll kind of look over your group, doubting.
I like partially draw my crystal wakizashi out of my sheath, press my hand to it, raise it, show it's fine.
I'll just grab it. And then
You'll
release
cut
it.
yourself if you just grab it, but you'll be fine other than that.
Yeah. And I'll look at Little Bear.
Okay. He'll put his hand on it. You see that there's no marks.
Alright, go around, go to Matsu and see.
Matsu's a Cylon.
I was gonna say before you pulled that out, I was gonna say, put my hand up. I'm not a shapeshifter. Just outright say it like in that horrible way.
So you just raise your hand and say, "I'm not a shapeshifter," but you don't touch the sword?
No, because
I would strike you down. Like you would not even finish the sentence before I strike you down with a flame katana.
I said before he pulled out that. Otherwise he didn't really know what ways to prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So you go around the group, and all of you test fine.
Okay, another thing.
I'm not even kidding. If you had just gone, I'm not when he went to ditch you, I was just gonna kill you. I go, does that satisfy your inquiry?
Yes.
We need your permission.
For?
We need to enter somebody's room. Their room is locked.
If their room is barred from the inside, it would require you to break the doors.
It locks from the outside.
And from the
The
inside.
castle locks from the outside, except my chambers. And the armory, of course.
Governor Sume's room, from how it was explained to me, was unlocked from the outside.
He had a key and everything.
If it is locking from the outside, then that is a new addition. That shouldn't be the case.
Yep. Very well. Now you understand our worry. He has made several questionable remarks that do not seem to hold up to what we know. Also, the face of a dead woman that Muramoto-san knew visited him today.
As much as that is evidence that something nefarious is going on, I'm hesitant to say that Sume Genzo is involved with it. However, I fear this may be a bit my past catching up with me.
Which is fine, but evil tends to breed evil, tends to breed evil. They could be using us as the quote-unquote heroes that we have become here, trying to break us down during Winter Court, dishonor us, so that way our influence is lessened and we are unable to marshal the forces necessary to do what must be done.
Excuse me.
Very well. So what is your plan to handle this?
I was going to have you unlock the door and protect the Empire, but since you do not have the key, I do not have a way to get into the room unless we kick in the door, and it is your castle.
I can take guards to you, the quarters to assist you. Most likely we will have to batter the door down.
Well, one could simply knock first.
Can you
But is
describe
it-
the lock to me, Matsu?
It's a simple shackle lock with a kind of a normal style key. It's the toothed kind at the end.
Okay. Is it, from my engineering knowledge, I can make a roll if need be, is that relatively easy to pick?
Yeah. It might be easy to cut off as well. I mean, really, all you have to do is break the shackle portion, and then it'll come right off.
It's, shouldn't be too difficult to get through the door without breaking it down, if it's that simple of a lock. You just
Chris.
won't need to strike.
I will say this, Chris, because you mentioned before I heard iron bars on the other side.
You heard a breaker bar.
A breaker bar. So yeah, I'll mention that.
Which
There
most
also
likely is wood. I mean, you've got one inside your room, too.
yeah, but it won't just be as simple as just breaking.
Okay,
the lock.
that one will need to be broken down.
We could go through the wall. No one ever break or bars the walls.
The walls are stone, aren't they?
They're probably just plain wood.
Chris, do we know what the walls are made out of?
The walls inside the castle are made of stone, and it's pretty thick stone. That's kind of typical crab engineering.
All right, never mind. Yep. I guess we're
I
breaking through
don't
the
suppose there are any ancient secret passageways, are there, Hirodono?
Many. The Caillou get bored and tend to create more. As for ones that go into that particular chamber, I am not sure. The Caillou hold most of the design secrets to the castle. It's being rebuilt. There may be old passages that could take you there, or even some of the new ones that they've made.
I guess it may be time to wake them up.
I can handle that.
Ah, your new wife.
It comes in handy, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Betrothed. But yes.
My betrothed.
What's the difference?
Absolutely.
Familial duty.
No, this is Toshiro in game.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the
familial
The
duty.
difference. Familial duty.
That, yeah. Familial duty.
I don't understand.
Well, she still...
No sexy
Was-
time.
Yeah.
I don't.
Literally what you just did.
I've done it a bunch.
With the wife, not your betrothed.
Miyamoto will like pat you on the shoulder. We'll tell you when you're older.
I'll go-
Just out of game, cranes are known, especially the courtiers, for sleeping around.
Yeah.
Yes, and I come from Matsu, who are not.
and
so-
I live in a forge.
So Toshiro's legitimately trying to find out where your differences lie.
Yeah.
Miyamoto's just giving you shit.
Yeah, I know. I'll go find her. Do you want me to bring her here? Or do you want her to talk to anyone else in the clan? I imagine you want to keep this relatively private.
Sure.
So just her? I'll see if she knows in the first place. And I will go off.
Okay. Yeah, it'll take time if you want to get her involved. You guys might be faster if you just break down the door. I'm just kind of letting you know that right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to break down the door.
If we're going to be doing this, and we are certain that he is not who he says he is, I'm pretty sure we should go with the fast approach.
I mean,
That way we also involve least amount of people.
we're not certain we say who he is, who we say he is.
I mean, we can just go in there
That's
saying
the
he's
problem.
not.
And Toshiro said it himself. Their goal here might be to defame us. And breaking down a governor's door to no effect would
I
certainly
mean,
harm us.
I can tell you for a fact he's not, at the very least, his normal self.
No.
I mean, people don't just burn in the water in that water.
Incorrect, Matsu. Who you saw was not the governor. But the governor may be on the other side of that door. We won't know until we see what is on the other side of that door. If it is a single shapeshifter or multiple shapeshifters, or in fact not even a shapeshifter, we do not know this information yet.
And we're making ourselves public without knowing the information if we just
If we take a battering ram, the halls will fill very quickly with the sounds of that. There will be no denying what happened. And if we are wrong, Hidedono may have no choice but to bar us from the rest of court for such a disgrace in his home. Chris.
Yep. I just saw it. You cracked it open.
Yep.
Your wife, being the worrywart that she is, gave you a scroll of Groves of Stone.
Groves of Stone.
It's in the Book of Earth. And the page is 198.
What is the...
It's Earth 3.
Okay.
Creates a barrier that takes siege engines to take it down.
Okay. I'll just shake my head.
Okay.
Like, this is crazy. I agree, but crazy.
What is your opinion on the matter, Hidedono?
I do not know of any passages that would go to that room. He walks over to a scroll that he has. He says, "But I believe I can check on him without arousing too much suspicion." He looks over a scroll and he mutters to himself, and you can hear the words "West Wing."
Is that the wing that the governor's room is in?
South Wing is what you were told.
I've been told that his room is in the south wing, and that is where
That is where I saw
Tenchu
the.
followed him.
The South Wing is not open to guests.
Okay.
What I'd also like to know is why did one of the servants also tell you the South Wing?
Well, that's not good.
No.
Crap.
What servant?
The Henin that directed your stewards.
You said the Henin?
Yes. That's correct, right, Chris?
Yes. He seems confused.
It was the Henin directing the
I look at Hitadono and I instantly look at him because now it's a problem.
That was the shapeshifter.
I look right at him and I said, because he should have already have done it. He hasn't locked down the castle yet. And now we have further evidence.
Yes, Hida has not locked down the castle yet, but you're talking about doing this stealthily, so Hida has not locked down the castle because of the way
Correct.
you want to handle this.
I'm going to look at him and say, just give him that look of, it might be time. Because I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to look at him and just say the word, mommy, which is deceiver, and wait for him to respond to see how he goes.
They want us to go into that room. Obviously. They told me to go essentially to go.
They or it. But the man that commands my servants is Kayu Takakana. That name will ring a bell to you. That is the man who gave the dour speech about firework colors and what they mean and kill all your family.
A servant shouldn't have given me a room that wasn't in the registry that you have. So it wanted me to be assured that that was the room that he was staying in.
Agreed. It sounds as if you are being welcomed. He looks back over at Kakita and he says, if I do it, that thing or things will know that something is wrong.
So I assume that in crab school, they teach the younglings there to just go, close down the castle, shit's over, and hunt this cocksucker down and kill it.
Yeah. If there are protocols in a lot of crab castles where if you can't kill it, you attempt to trap it in the castle.
So I look at him and I say, I'm not the head of this castle, but we both know the protocols. If they're trying to defame us, they might be trying to defame you as well. And what do you mean we've been welcomed?
I don't know what their game plan is, but they seem to have an interest in you, or at least in C.
They
They
knew that.
specifically reinforced the lie.
They also went after Kaji.
And I should note that one escaped the castle walls. So,
Maybe we should find out if he's in the room he's supposed to be in.
What was the room that he was actually in?
West wing, third door on the left.
No, in the south wing.
I could
South
show
wing, third
you.
door on the left.
Also, yeah.
Hmm?
It was south wing, third door on the left.
So what's actually in that room?
I did not get a chance to see inside.
That was not a question directed at you, Matsu.
Hida will look over his documents and he says, should be grain storage. That would have a lock on the outside.
Oh, unfortunate.
that grain needs to be checked over.
Hmm. I've already summoned several spirits that were not properly aligned in your castle.
Well, that much I can assume given the situation.
However, a water spirit tells me that things are going well. It might be beneficial to speak with another spirit. That water spirit may have also been corrupted.
I will trust you to the spirits. I'm more of a simple man, and he'll grab a Tetsubo off the wall. Just tell me what needs to be hit.
I will speak with the earth spirits.
Okay.
I apologize for having to take a moment to check my advantage out because I do have an advantage that should go with this, and I just want to make sure that it is what I believe it is. Okay. So I have 1K1.
It knows we know it knows. We know.
22 to summon an earth spirit.
Okay. You'll have to step outside to get to Earth to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But once you step outside, a small lump of dirt will kind of form up, and it kind of yawns at you. It's Kuni magics, wrong color.
Hello.
Hello, little bird.
How are you, my friend?
Hired.
I am as well. It is late in the evening.
I cannot sleep well. I
And
have
why is
neighbors that are rowdy.
Rowdy neighbors, how so?
They wish disorder. But that is not a concern for mortals.
It is with what we are currently facing.
Then perhaps you can help me.
How is that?
I want these neighbors gone. I enjoyed when my castle was peaceful. It was cooling. The stone felt nice in the winter air.
And how can we eliminate this?
You must flush out what has brought them here.
Do you know what that is?
Hard to say. It changes faces.
Is it basically saying shapeshifter?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Oh no. It occurs to me my wife was not here for the ceremony, for the opening. Miraculously, she was here for fireworks.
Oh god, this is great.
That is literally what Toshiro says.
I think I spoke to the servant while you were gone. Thankfully.
I bow to the earth spirit.
That would have been so messed up.
Well, to be fair, we don't know how many of them there are.
I was about to say that. We still don't know if there's more than one.
Where?
But why would the shapeshifters need you?
They already created a pregnant woman, remember?
Hmm.
They might be trying to create a secondary one. In fact, it was when I saw that woman and I went down into the crowd, I ran into my wife and could no longer find that woman.
Well, yes, though, while you were, that is also when I ran into the same woman. Granted,
So we're possibly looking at a total of 3 shapeshifters at the moment.
theoretically, yes.
Oh, this is bad. This is Destroyer War bad. A single shapeshifter can take a castle. Oh, god damn it. I'm going to go... let us all go spend time with the wifey, shall we?
Do you have any questions for the spirit you summoned?
No, I bowed to it and said, let's go.
Has anyone ever called you Little Bird before?
No?
Just surprised me as all. That's what my mother calls me.
Interesting C fact of the day.
I totally hope that
It
wasn't...
just sounded odd.
God, if Chris is really doing this.
That was something I wrote in the backstory.
I am aware of that, but it's not connected.
Yeah.
It's just a happy coincidence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Happy coincidences.
All right, let us go make with the introductions to the wife.
Uh-huh. Take out a crystal sword. It'll be fun.
I laugh. You laugh. Eda laughs. The bed laughs.
Shapeshifter laughs.
It's a good day.
Eda looks a little
Motherfucking
confused.
shapeshifters.
He looks a little what?
A little confused at the turn of events.
What is it? What do you mean?
You stopped and said, "Let's go say hello to the wife."
Well, I did say all this stuff about my wife and went,
Oh.
oh.
Are you aware that Toshiro's wife came to the castle Hiradono?
From what I understand, she traveled with her father.
Okay.
Incorrect. Her father was here days ago, and this is the first I've run into her.
That is what I was led to believe.
By whom?
I was informed by my God damn it, whatchamacallit. What is he called? What is his title? Give me a second. Karo.
Who's Karu?
Karo is Kayu Takakana, which is the man who's watching over the house. He's the house Carl.
The one I should have talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have one other thing to ask. Where was that room, Toshiro?
Where was the room?
The room for your wife?
Yeah.
It was in the East Wing, which is where you guys are staying as well.
Okay. Just trying to make sure. You know, I think this is how they get you. Make you question everybody.
That is part of their deviousness.
So we're doing this or what?
Excuse me?
Are we doing this or what?
Yep.
Seeing the turn this is taking, do you still want me to look after the secret passages? Or do you want to stick together?
I think at this point we should probably stick together.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a look, Toshiro. Do you want me to come?
I wish everybody to come.
All right. I'll leave it at that.
Bad.
I was making sure if you were asking Hida Dono to come also.
That is up to him. I do not control him.
I suppose I should keep appearances going. The best way to keep this thing inside here would be to maintain some level of normacy.
Can I ask a question, Chris?
Yeah.
May I make a roll about Shadowlands creatures, right? Because these would be a Shadowlands creature, correct?
Yeah.
If I can find out Shapeshifter's powers,
Mm-hmm.
They shift shapes.
I will attempt to call one raise.
Okay, your target number is going to be 20 with the raise.
32.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, they're Shadowlands creature shapeshifters. It's hard to tell their true form. Their true form is kind of a featureless, gray, tall, skinny thing. But it only reverts to its true form when it is dead or when it is in its nest. They do travel usually in pairs, and that's more for safety than for anything else.
Okay. They don't have anything crazy like the ability to go back to the spirit realm, right?
No, they exist in the mortal realm.
All right. Let us. Okay. And for my own peace of mind at this point, what would I roll to know? Like, because I feel like Hida is. It feels that it's wrong that he's not taking action more readily against this, especially with guests in the castle.
Okay.
Is it like a gut failing check or something?
Not really. That's kind of a more of a player call. How you want to handle it and how your character feels about that.
Could I roll etiquette to see
What
like
the proper
something?
thing would be to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Target number would be 15.
Where's my... Target number 15, I will like to call one raise.
Okay.
$30? Jesus.
Okay. So with that, the proper thing would be to not interrupt Winter Court if at all possible. So doing it very low key would be the appropriate thing to do.
Hey, Chris, I would like to rack my memory.
Mhm.
Were there any notable people who did not attend the fireworks?
Yeah. There was one that, now that you're thinking about it, it does kind of stand out as weird.
Who?
Governor Sume's bodyguard, the Daidoji, was not present. Who has been present for every other scene that you've seen him.
Also, Governor or Daidoji looked like Daidoji when I saw him, and then got close, and he did not look like Daidoji.
He's... yeah. I have a feeling of the shape the other shapeshifter's been taking. It's the bodyguard.
So we have a possible 2 shapeshifters, 3 if my wife. Walk,
Or if
walk,
you
walk,
count
walk,
the,
walk.
the dead woman.
Hmm?
I said 4 if you count the dead woman as a separate.
No, I'm counting the dead woman because so essentially I'm saying how many can we account for at one time? We can account for my wife, Governor Sume, and the dead woman all at the same time. The Daidoji has not been, we have not seen the Daidoji at the same time as we've seen one of the other 3 around.
The servant. I saw the servant when Toshiro saw the dead woman, and while you were seeing the wife.
Right.
However, we cannot say that Governor Sume at the same time is already behind his door.
He could have double to be the servant, maybe.
So we can only quantify 3 if my wife, 2 without.
Yes.
All right, let's go say hello.
Okay. So you go to find your wife. You open the door to the room where your wife was, and you find a Kuni prayer staff inside the room. Prayer staffs are very unique objects. Each one is designed by its crafter with very, very much care. There's specific prayers that have been selected, amounts of jade, different that have been hanging off the staff, and they're bonded with its owner. You know that the staff's owner is still alive because the staff is still in one piece. Should the owner die, the staff falls apart into dust. But there is no one in the room.
Would she have gone somewhere?
She does have her own room, which is not this room.
I will head to her room.
Okay. When you go to knock on the door, one of the other women that are sharing the room with her opens it. She is from the Unicorn Clan, a rather burly-looking woman. She says, Kikita, have you seen... I'm sorry, your wife's first name again?
I was just looking that up.
don't even know your wife's name.
What's my wife's name, Jeremy?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
Don't even know your daughter's name.
Hey man, hey man. I don't have a daughter yet.
Would he really call her by her name, though? I imagine he'd just call her girl or something like that.
Wife. That is her
Woman.
name. Her name is Wife.
Yariko.
Yariko.
Wife.
She will say, Kakita, I did not expect you or Yariko back this evening.
Did she travel with her prayer staff? Do you know?
Did she travel with what?
Did she have her prayer staff?
Yariko doesn't carry a prayer staff as far as I know.
Do I know if she has one, Chris?
Oh, no, she doesn't. She hasn't been entrusted with one yet.
I bow to her. I say thank you.
You do, however, know someone who has one.
Yeah, my master.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to my master's quarters.
Okay. You find the door open.
I will go in.
It is pitch inside there. When you when you light a candle or strike the striking pad, you'll notice that the room is empty. The chair has been cast to the floor.
His chair?
His chair.
It's taken a hostage and it told
Please
us he's
leave the room.
alive.
That is all Toshiro says to everybody. Please leave the room.
Your privacy will be granted. It'll leave.
Leave.
Yep.
As soon as the door shuts, the castle shakes because I'm screaming in pain, and I'm going to, unbeknownst to me, cast one of the spells that Cooney casts when he was mad, which was the Earthquake spell, but I only know it as Earth Murmur. Because Cooney would Earthquake when he was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So that might cause a problem.
A little bit, yeah. It's not gonna like destroy the castle or anything crazy like that.
No, Earthquake would have. So you guys will hear shouting outside, and then the shake, and then the door will open. I believe we can confirm 3 shapeshifters.
I'm sorry.
4.
Well, for what happened last night.
It is not your fault. It is mine. And mine alone. I did receive a gift. I'm going to open the scroll and study it more thoroughly, because now I believe that she gave me a Maho scroll or some stupid shit.
Okay. It appears to be legit.
Well, now what do we do?
Do you attempt to cast it?
No.
Okay.
Not
Let me know
yet.
when you would like to try.
Well, that's not, foreboding.
Oh, man. Can I make a lore Maho check or lore lying darkness check on this thing?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it'll only let you know if things have happened in the past, similar to like them disguising a perfectly legit spell or a Maho spell as a perfectly legit spell.
Yes. That's exactly what I want.
Okay.
So 5K3. With 1 raise, please.
Okay.
5K36.
What'd you get?
20.
Okay. You don't know of anything like that.
Now what do we do?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to return to the room and go to sleep.
Well, we are going to need our strength for tomorrow. Seems like a lot's going to be happening.
Tomorrow I plan on killing everybody in the castle that I cannot verify is not a shapeshifter.
Like I said, a lot's going to happen. We're going to need our strength.
I'll look to Hida.
No, Hida didn't join us.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, he said he's got to keep up
Oh, you
appearances.
keep up appearances, yeah.
Acting normal.
Just wondering, we say 3 shapeshifters, but I'm thinking Kaji's might be unrelated. I can't imagine, is there any way a shapeshifter could have known
Yes.
what his... Yeah?
Sure.
There are powerful magics that read minds. Magics that allow demons to pull out your nightmares. If Kaji was as moved as he was by the appearance of this dead woman, that in and of itself may be influence enough. In all seriousness, I cannot go around and kill everybody that I can't verify is not a shapeshifter. We must think of another way.
Well, we don't know what they want yet, and they appear to have taken a hostage.
I will come back with my sensei's chair.
Okay.
They wanted to assure us that he was alive.
Get! My chair wasn't in the room!
Nope.
What?
Someone stole your battle equipment.
Someone stole my daisho. They have literally taken my soul.
We've got to recover it.
I turned
Special
to
note,
Muramoto.
technically that's not your die show.
Correct. I understand.
Yeah.
I turn to Muramoto, and I say, if you please. I will then lay out a nice mat. I will lift my shirt, and I will draw my wakizashi.
I will stop. He's like, as much as I admire your dedication, we need you now.
I
the
don't
only
stop.
thing that could make you blaspheming and calling a chair a dice show would be killing yourself over it. Please get up.
I have lost my soul.
We will get it back.
Or I will expect all of you to do what I am willing to do to regain even a modicum of honor.
My honor is always on the line. Now get up and let's get your chair back.
Tsubasa, just because you don't understand what a daisho is, does not mean the rest of us do not.
Very well.
Kaji is behind Toshiro right now going, to that statement. You
The
turn around.
daisho is clear. Is all a daisho is a warrior's weapon / soul.
And Tsubasa disagrees.
And Tsubasa is the one who crafts those souls, apparently. So, I'm pretty sure he understands a lot
He
about...
crafts the weapon.
Yeah.
The soul is the part the warrior puts into it.
Yeah. It's not quite the official definition, which is why Kaji's going,
I don't merely hammer steel, but let's not cause any strife over it.
Let us go to bed.
keep one eye open.
I go back to the room where I was with I wouldn't go back to the room where I was with my wife. I will go and retrieve the Kuni prayer stick.
You grab the Kuni prayer staff and return to your own room to slumber for the evening.
Yes.
Okay.
Who will take first watch?
I'll take someone's watch.
Go
I'll
ahead.
do it. Get your seat.
Okay, so you guys split watches, have an uneventful evening's rest.
So, next day.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I wake up, I prepare myself.
So, do I know that what this staff is capable of?
Yeah, you do. It doesn't do anything for you, though, because you're not its intended wielder. It's basically a quarterstaff for you.
Yeah. If I'm
But you
seen
do
with
know the
this thing
important
on my
part that
back,
if
what is going to happen?
I was gonna say you do know the important part that if Cooney dies, that staff destroys itself.
If I'm seen carrying this thing around, what is the implications of that?
If the shapeshifters catch you doing it, they'll know that you're fully aware that they have of their threats to you. If other people see you carrying it, they might not glance at it twice because you are a student of a Cooney. Technically, you are a Cooney student, so a high-ranking Cooney master like your own could make one and give it to you.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
There's only out of game. There's only 6 minutes left.
Mm-hmm. So if you'd like to discuss some things real quick, we'll get to the burn down the castle parts next week. Or next time, I should say.
It doesn't have to literally be burned down. I mean, it's probably going to be, but it doesn't have to be.
Correct.
We could, ask people to touch the crystal sword and other such nonsenses.
Well, yes, though people will get suspicious, particularly the shapeshifters.
Not much I can do about that. Subtlety is not how the line works. At least not the Matsu.
It is more important now than ever that you stand by Ida. Note anything that may be out of the ordinary with him. We can't rule out that he is indeed a shapeshifter as well.
I mean, he touched my sword.
But we haven't
With
seen
glove.
I assume not?
He was wearing a sparring gi. So those occasionally have gloves on them.
No, he wasn't. He
Yeah.
left.
I imagine I would have called him out on that if he was touching it with gloves, because that means nothing. Alright, so, yeah, he's probably not. At least yet, if we're going to let our paranoia run rampant.
We need to know what they want before, if we plan to do anything subtly.
Agreed.
Something that would occur to you because of your Shadowlance check.
Mhm.
Shapeshifters typically will not kill things that they take the form of because it's too risky. Because if that person disappears, it then is replaced by a shapeshifter. That shapeshifter is stuck in that form. So chances are the people that they've taken forms of are still here within the castle.
If they ever came here in the first place, because
Correct.
sending mail to find out would be difficult.
Also, regardless of how much of a trap it probably is, I do think we need to check on that room that stores the grain. I think we all remember how Toji Rambo went down. We can't risk that happening again.
The room with something that they want us to find.
We cannot check it out.
Well, regardless, whether or not it is connected to the plot as a whole, we do know one thing they want. Or at least what one of them wants. She wants me. Specifically, she wants me to be her lover. He says it with, like, spitting it out. Ugh.
Hey, at least she only wants you to be. At least you haven't already been.
Well, you're probably right on that. That does make you feel better. Good job.
That's twice in as many days, Noromoto.
Yeah, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll.
So, where do we begin?
I will meditate on this. My normal investigation techniques did not cover tracking down shapeshifters.
And the one who might have known how to.
It disappeared.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I am a target. Perhaps I can make myself bait somehow. Draw at least one of them out.
If the prayer staff is not found, or we're not aware of what's going on, and we can make it seem like it hasn't been determined, maybe finding the wife, my wife may come back to me. Although I truly believe we should cast this spell and see what it is.
Hopefully, while there are not other people around.
They also expect me to visit the governor soon.
Well, which one do we wish to do first?
Well, yes, but remember, that was given to you by a fake servant. Who knows what he told anyone else? Maybe, in fact, none of the actual normal staff know about this meeting. Especially since this is happening in the forbidden place of the castle.
I told a shapeshifter that I wanted to meet the governor.
If he's saying that if he acts out of order from the shapeshifter's point of view now, the shapeshifter might be led on to something.
I see.
Well, you three figure out what you want to do. I'm going to prepare myself to watching over Hida Donna.
That is, if it's even heated enough.
Well, then I will make sure to watch out and see where this Hida Dono is going, fake or real. And I will say, I'm gonna grab a piece of cloth, Chris.
Okay.
That is from my bedding, and
Okay.
I'm going to tie it on my shoulder and then put my armor on it when I'm getting ready, in case you need to realize it's me.
That may be a good idea for all of us to do. I'll also put one on my arm underneath all my
Underneath
gear.
clothing or gear or whatever, just not so people can see it, but only we'll know that it should be there.
Good idea.
I suppose.
That's right, guys. I have good ideas every now and then. But yeah.
I'll go one step further. I'm going to take out my calligraphy set. Please write something on each of these. I should be able to recognize handwriting. They would have to steal the actual cloth.
Excuse me?
He's saying write something on the cloth and then tie it around the arms.
I'll
that-
be able to recognize your handwriting well enough to know if it's a fake. They'll have to steal the actual piece of cloth.
Yeah, but that won't help all of us since not all of us will know the different handwritings.
I think Kaji might be well enough first.
I have a question. Where's the tattoo set?
That would be under Kaji's.
Yeah.
Do we know how to use that?
He does, last time I checked, since Kaji has gone out of his way to tell us of his fondness for tattoos?
Well, all right. First of all, I entrust the tattoo set into his care. I'm not entirely sure where he put it, but I am allowed access to the scroll.
It's in the armory.
Yes. So there. And yes, I do technically know how to use it. Although I should note that I cannot use it on my own, at least for the purposes of protecting against taint or corruption. I will need a Shugenja capable of manipulating both jade and crystal to do so.
I think he's asking more of to permanently mark ourselves.
Yes, and like I said, that would only be effective if we had a Shugenja who can work with jade and crystal.
I can do it.
You know how to work with crystal.
Heaven's Tears is a crystal spell.
He understands rudimentary crystal spells.
It's like, Well, perhaps it might work then. I would not. I have to hesitate to say that I would not consider myself a master tattoo artist. So, I would try if asked, but I cannot guarantee.
For now, the calligraphy should work.
All right. Sign my name.
I'll closely study each of the marks before you wrap them on yourselves, and I'll have Kaji do the same thing.
Okay.
Damn you, Scuba Steve.
Okay. So that is going to end today's session. Thanks everybody for coming out. We had a few viewers this time around, and I know that one of our viewers was returning after a small temporary break, so welcome back. But I wanted to thank everybody who's showed up, followed us this whole time, because we are on, what was this, our 16th session? We're getting pretty ridiculous at this point. We've been going for almost a year now on this one. And just to kind of give a heads up, I do have a lot more planned for this game. So if you do like what you see, stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff to explore still. With that, this week we'll be starting Endeavor on Tuesday, so make sure you check that out. We're going to do session 0, maybe 0.5 if everything gets made as far as characters and everything to start up. Other than that, do you guys have anything you'd like to pitch, announce, or otherwise?
I do.
Okay.
So, as your audience probably doesn't know, some of them may, I run the Dragon Ball game on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also, if you guys don't know, really good at a game called X-Wing the Miniatures game. In fact, I won store championships last year. I did really good at regionals, made top 8. And this year I'm probably going to end up at Worlds. With that being a thing, store championship season is around at this time of year, so my Dragon Ball games are going to be sporadic, not necessarily terribly sporadic, but pretty sporadic for the next, I'd say, till probably mid-March, so for the next month and a half. So I want to apologize ahead of time for that, and just to let everybody know. However, if people want, or if Chris wants, I can actually run a demo on his channel or something and let people see what I'm talking about, the game and whatnot. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Definitely cool. I know there are some people inside the one-shot group that would love to join in on that sort of thing.
I think I saw a post from someone who actually picked up the system to try.
Yeah. Definitely cool to see comments like that. So we do have some new people that are going to be checking out the channel because of things that I've mentioned in the past, because we've got some new members of like the one-shot group and stuff like that that are into these games that we run, since we run a lot of off games compared to other channels. So it's definitely cool to see some new faces. If you guys want to throw a shout out inside the comment section of the videos, we appreciate that. That definitely helps kind of spur us on. And I'm usually very quick to respond to any sort of questions if you have them. as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see
And
you
you're
at the
quick
gaming
to get
table.
me to do it.
That is true. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the gaming table.